The S24 FE is not the phone you want. In fact, why would anyone want it? Because this isn't the phone you want. This is the phone you need. Let's go. The S24 FE is a basic phone in every sense of the word. There is absolutely nothing sensational about it. Nothing that makes it stand out from the crowd. Nothing unique to call its own. It's just a solid, dependable smartphone. And that's okay. In my time with it, I've found it to be nothing but dependable, even if it doesn't excite me. Beginning with the design, it's pretty uninspiring to look at. Not gonna lie. There's no unique identifiers to sort of set it apart from the crowd of slab smartphones that exist in 2024. The only unique identifier that makes this a Samsung phone is these floating cameras here on the back. Other than that, you have two bits of flat glass, one on the back, one on the front, sandwiched, and in between is aluminium. You're not getting anything special, to put it that way. The bezels on this phone aren't anything special either. You get a nice big screen, and there's some thicker bezels, which are thicker than what you get on the normal S24 series. For the user of the FE brand, they're not even going to notice that. Likely, people that are upgrading to the FE are upgrading from much, much older flagships. Galaxy S7, Galaxy S8, Galaxy S9, because they're looking at the market now and they're almost priced out of the current day flagships S24 Plus and Ultra. So for them, this is a huge upgrade in terms of bezels. It's massively shrunk down. They've got a much bigger screen, much better display to go along with that. And the design is definitely current. Only thing from the design point of view that customers interested in the FE will need to consider is the size. It's big. The footprint of this is basically the same in terms of footprint as the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But with instead of the squared off corners, you've got the rounded corners, and instead of the rounded frame, you have the flat frame on the side, albeit slightly rounded at the back here for in-hand comfort. That size will definitely need to be considered if you are looking at this phone, because if you're coming from one of those older flagships, this is much, much bigger. If you prefer a smaller phone and you can swing the extra money, the Galaxy S24 base model is probably a better choice. Design aside, whilst the design is uninspiring and nothing really to write home about, the display is a different story. That's the thing about all Samsung phones, is their displays are amazing. Plenty bright enough outdoors. You've got an adaptive 120Hz refresh rate, provides a great scrolling experience, and then also the entertainment side of things provides a great viewing experience. I really like the outdoor brightness, because using it outdoors, whether that be capturing photos of kids running around, whether that be on your social media, it goes bright enough that you don't ever have to worry about the display being dim, because it just won't be. And I guess a lot of people will take photos, and having that sort of bright display, even when you're sort of zooming in, you'll never have any issues. You'll always see what you're looking at. That's what I'd like to talk about next, the cameras. Things get a little bit interesting when we turn over to these things on the back here. For my usage, these cameras don't cut it. I think I could probably get away with it about 75% of the time, but the output, it just isn't good enough across the board for me to be able to consider it. The way I like to capture my memories of my family, like zooming in and flexible with the cameras that are on board, this just doesn't have that enough for me to be able to use it. The S24 FE realistically has one great exceptional camera, the main one, and then it's flanked by two average ones, the ultra wide and the 3x. The thing is too, if you're in the bracket of this price range, there are probably better cameras in terms of hardware that you can get access to. But thankfully, phones are just more than cameras, but I digress. All that aside, the main camera is excellent. Its output is balanced, detailed, with great dynamic range. It's going to capture really nice moments for you, whether that be outdoors at a playground or whether that be portrait photos at a concert. This will take good shots for you. The other two cameras though, very, very disappointing. Also because they haven't changed the other two cameras on this for years now. Processing wise, they actually handle okay. And I think that's got a lot to do with the Exynos 2400E. It can lift up and actually give good results, at least without pixel peeping, from the ultra wide and the 3x. Especially in dynamic range, you'll never sort of see it overblow the highlights from either of those two cameras. But when you do pixel peep, and I mean even a little bit, you notice it degrade very, very quickly. But if you don't really think too much about your photos and you're just capturing what's in front of you, you probably won't worry too much about that output. But I just thought I'd highlight it. As someone who knows better, I should at least tell you. Videos paint a pretty similar picture. And by picture, I mean moving pictures. But I used it to document a day out at a Burley Food and Wine Festival a couple of weeks ago. Daytime shots or daytime video from the main camera, superb. Stabilization, following the kids around, capturing the detail of the bright sky. Beautiful. Absolutely really nice footage captured out of the main camera here in 4K 30 as well. But again, following a similar theme, as the night sort of progressed, that's when you notice things sort of degrade in quality. And it just doesn't capture the same sort of quality and detail that the main camera does, or like the higher end flagships do. Overall though, video does actually hold up. I would actually be happy using this as a B-roll cam for YouTube. And in fact, I've already used this to capture some B-roll moments whilst I've been out and about, from the main camera especially. So stick to that, and maybe don't worry too much about using the ultra wide and the 3x too much. If you need them, they're there and they'll do a job, but just don't expect the job to be as good as the main camera. The other part with the S24 FE2, outside from output, is its camera modes. I just came from the playground with the kids, and whilst I was there, I just remembered the flexibility that all the camera modes have got. Things like using single take, where not only can you use all the cameras on the back, but it captures a whole bunch of video and then crops out and takes out shots and photos and videos of the moments that happen, puts it into an album. Or something like dual recording, where you can actually record from two rear cameras at the same time, which I found insanely useful. Performance-wise, with the Exynos 2400E, you'll have nothing to worry about, and I'll tell you why. For the vast majority, and that is the target consumer of this phone, this will perform like a flagship. All of the performance benchmarks in my testing, things like video processing and rendering, things like photo editing, the Exynos 2400E in many instances actually beat the 8 Gen 3 on the S24 Ultra. Crazy. And for what this phone will mostly be used for, social media usage, browsing the internet, some light productivity, maybe with emails, phone calls. Yes, you do make phone calls on phones. Taking photos and videos. You will have no issues with this phone and its performance whatsoever. Not only will you not have issues, you'll actually enjoy the experience that you get. Good thing too is Galaxy AI is also fully available on the S24 FE. You're not going to miss any of Samsung's, I guess, higher end AI offerings just because you're not forking out the money on the S24 Ultra. So not only do you not miss the features, but you're also not missing out on the way they perform, because they perform the same. And then from a battery perspective, it's solid. It's a 4,700 mAh battery inside, which on paper you might be concerned with because it's not the same as the 4,900 on the S24 Plus, even though it's got the same size display. But again, you need to consider who's going to be using this phone and what they'll be using it for. It's not the ultra or flagship user. It's not someone who's a power user of their smartphone. It's effectively what I'm trying to say. You will not be using this phone to its limit. You will be using it as a phone, as a smartphone, as someone who likes to browse the internet, someone who likes to do the social media, take photos. You won't be overly using it, is my point, which will make the battery last for a day at least, maybe a day and a half, pushing that out. It could be someone like my mum who's upgrading from a Note 9, which happened to just break, so maybe it's good time for her to upgrade. And all she really does on her phone is occasionally take photos of my kids when she's watching them, occasionally look up and watch YouTube videos, some light social media, and that's really it. There's not much more that she's doing on her phone, and the battery on this will be a godsend for her, especially coming from a 5-year-old Note 9. I don't have to like this phone. In fact, I don't. This is not my phone. I don't really like the idea of using it long term outside of what I've done for this review. But also, I'm not who Samsung made this phone for. I'm the target consumer of the S24 Ultra, of the Fold 6. Me not liking this phone should have no bearing on whether you like it or you might buy it. Effectively, if I were to say and shame this phone and say how bad it is and how no one should buy it, that's not fair on this. It would be like a race car driver stepping down into a Toyota Prius and saying how bad the Prius is. The Prius is not made for them. So for them to review the Prius and talk about how bad it is, it's not fair on the Prius, because the Prius has its target consumer and so does this. And for both of them, they both will do the right job for that person. It does its job and does it well. And for the right person, it's the perfect phone. Hit subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You!